For a lot of our students, reflecting on their learning feels like a risky prospect, shaped by identity, maybe earlier trauma, or whatever their last classroom taught them about whose experience is considered valid. One student might churn out a couple of frank paragraphs about a moment that changed how they think about themselves. But a classmate a couple of rows back turns in the usual 3 brief sentences that don't really say very much at all. Same assignment, different results. With that in mind, today we'll consider how to create a more equitable reflection space. Hello again, everyone. I'm Stokes Schwartz, and welcome back to the Collaborative Cafe. Begin by thinking ahead and offering options to your students. If a reflection topic might brush up against something uncomfortable, for example, family, health, immigration, or loss, offer a parallel prompt that meets the same learning goal, but doesn't require personal disclosure. Not a throwaway assignment, mind you, but an equal one. That way, skipping the vulnerable version isn't opting out of the work, it's just entering the same room through another door to borrow an idea from travel writer Rick Steves. Next, grade for engagement with the process. Rather than demand a painful confession, ask yourself, did a student actually think through the different steps? And be clear about that expected engagement upfront in your prompt. If a grade depends on how much someone confesses, then you're unwittingly punishing self-protection. So move away from that reality TV approach and separate reflection from evaluation. Third, build in an opt-out and let your students choose a topic's temperature. Low stakes today, but deeper once that student-instructor trust has been established. That's not lowering your standards, it's recognizing that trust is built over time across the semester, not assigned by you on day 1 of the course. Now, those 3 small changes will help you create a more equitable reflection space. And many teaching faculties stop there. But few realize the biggest reason that some students remain guarded. It's not unlike the prospect of sharing personal information on social media or with an artificial intelligence. We're told not to do that, and most of us don't, right? It's the same thing for many of our students who don't always trust that what they share in their coursework will be handled with care. That trust isn't won by a carefully crafted rubric either. So here's a possible way to foster the coveted trust between you and more of your students. Model your own vulnerability before you ever ask students to do that themselves. Begin by sharing a lesson plan that fell flat, maybe a teaching habit you had to unlearn, or a moment in your career when everything felt like it was going to hell in a handbasket. Been there, done that. Kidding aside, research on safety cues in the college classroom backs up that key step. Even if those details seem relatively inconsequential from our point of view now, providing clear signals that you value your students' whole identities tends to predict a stronger sense of belonging, more routine attendance, and improved participation on their part. Sharing your own vulnerability before you ask your students to do the same conveys that the classroom can hold complexity, their own included. To recap then, 1. Offer choice in reflection format. 2. Separate reflection from graded disclosure. 3. Allow depth of trust to build over time. And 4. Model your own vulnerability before you ask others for theirs. That'll help reflection stop being a compliance exercise performed for a grade. You might notice that students who felt unseen in the past tend to engage more fully and develop more thoughtful reflections. With the start of fall 2026 and a haircut a few weeks away, pick one upcoming reflection assignment and add a small moment of your own vulnerability to the prompt. Take note of any shifts in what comes back to you. Next time, we'll look at where reflection fits in a larger assignment sequence. Talk to you then.